long time since the quote unquote favorites have lost the games. The higher ranked team has lost every single game so far. Northwestern gets here by way of beating Ohio State in a very, very good game. Ohio State, number 3, uh, falls to Northwestern against Colorado, who beat national champion UCLA in another close game. All 4 games were decided by a touchdown or less. Colorado was the only one that won by 7 points. Everybody else was 3 points, 4 points, 4 points. So we had a really, really good first round. This year, or this semis, you have Northwestern coming in as an 11.5-point favorite against the Buffalo. Coach Circle, this is not his first rodeo in this, and looking to make your 5th national championship, I do believe it is. I'm trying to pull up the stats because but skip for now. I don't care, Microsoft. Piss off. Yeah, trying for number 5. 4 with Northwestern and 1 with the team that we do not talk about. Um, so yeah, looking to go make it yet again with Northwestern and make it 2 years in a row. But they have a tough challenge against them with Colorado coming out of the Big 12, and Big 12 trying to make their first national championship appearance since Heim did it in 2043. A lot on the lines here tonight as Northwestern takes the field donning their purple attire, and Colorado gold helmets, white jerseys, gold pants. Colorado is the away team, and they elect to defer to the second half after the kick, so Northwestern will take the ball to begin the game. As we have kickoff, Carlos Mountain kicks it to the 5-yard line, and Danny Mitchell will get it from there. Gets up the field, and he'll get a 26-yard return, and that's where Northwestern will take over 1st and 10 at the 31. They'll be led onto the field by their junior quarterback, Antonio Cox, who's had an amazing year so far. 42 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, 45 plus 100 passing yards on the year, and additionally some good ground coverage as well, running it for 250 yards ish with 8 touchdowns. Northwestern 1st and 10. Cox drops back to pass, finds his man Young over the middle for a gain of 13 and a first down. Northwestern only had 1 change on their lineup because of the injured running back. So Norman Mompremier will be the premier back, as he will get the handoff and he'll get a 3-yard gain on the play, 2nd and 7. Cox takes the snap, tries to hand it off, but a miscommunication happens. The ball falls on the ground, and it's a fumble, and it's a pile up, and it's going to be recovered by Colorado. Mark Beatty jumps on top of it and piled on, and we have a turnover. The miscommunication between Cox and Montpremier has led to the early turnover. It will be 1st and 10, Colorado on the Northwestern 47. And trotting onto the field is their starting quarterback, junior Preston Cately. He's had a good year so far. Combined 41 touchdowns, 11 interceptions on the year, 4,500 passing yards. And the playoffs, not so good. Let's see. That was this year. Yeah. Um, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Looking to make a good game here. Kately drops back, and it's a draw play to Hurrah, who gets a 4-yard gain. Hand off again, this time to Noah Jackson, who gets a 7-yard gain, and it's a first down. Kately drops back to pass, throws it deep, and it falls incomplete. 2nd and 10. Kately drops back to pass, feels pressure, decides to step up, and he's going to scramble ahead. Flags flies. He slides down for a 2-yard gain. There will be a holding penalty on the offense, bringing it back to the original line of scrimmage, 46. 2nd and 20. Kately drops back to pass, finds Ryan Jackson on a curl route, who's brought down immediately for a 10-yard gain, followed by an incomplete pass, and it brings up 4th and 10 at the Northwestern 36. Mountain will line up for a deep kick, this one from 53. As he has a long of 55 on the year. The kick is up, and it is good, as Colorado will take the early lead here in the Battle of the Roses. And I forgot to mention, we're at the granddaddy of them all, Pasadena, California, for the Rose Bowl. Um, the beautiful, beautiful stadium of almost 90,000 strong, and it is split down the middle. Northwestern fans did attend this one greatly. Kickoff will be taken from the 2. Danny Mitchell will get a 15-yard return, and Northwestern 1st and 10. Let's see if they can not turn the ball over. Cox drops back to pass, and they set up the screen to Montpremier, who gets a 9-yard gain. Cox drops back to pass, finds the do-it-all utility man, Maurice Hibbert, who comes up with it with a 9-yard gain and a first down. Cox keeps it for himself, and he rushes ahead, and he gets an 11-yard gain, first down. Incomplete pass, and a rush with Montpierre for a gain of 8, and it brings up a 4th and 2 at the Colorado 46. And Northwestern has an early decision, and Coach Circle keeps his offense out on the field. Shotgun formation. They move Hibbert out of the tight end position and into the backfield with Montpremier. Takes the snap, fakes it to Hibbert, looks, throws it over the middle, complete, almost intercepted as Byron Richmond jumped the route, almost gets it, and we have late flags on the play. Pass interference on the defense. The referee saw that Byron got there a little bit too early, calls an interference, and it'll be a 1st and 10 for Northwestern at the Colorado 33. Saves them here. Montpierre gets the handoff. He gets a 1-yard gain. 2nd down and 9. Cox drops back to pass, lobs it deep, and finds Joe Batiste, who comes down hard but maintains the catch as he gets a 23-yard gain. He'll be 1st and goal from the 9. Shotgun formation again. Hibbert gets moved into the backfield, takes the snap, hands off to Hibbert. Hibbert finds a lane, runs it into the end zone. Touchdown, Northwestern. Aaron Riddick lines up for the extra point, and it is good. And Northwestern takes the lead 7-3. Colorado gets the ball from the 10-yard line. Sean Hampton gets a 23-yard return, 1st and 10 at the 33. Incomplete pass. Kately finds Ryan Jackson for a 9-yard gain. It brings up a 4th down and 9 in their own 42. And Coach Papa, with no hesitation, keeps his offense out on the field. They line up Power I formation, hand off to Hurrah, who gets it, surges ahead, falls forward, and he'll get a 5-yard gain as we go with old school football here. 1st and 10 from the 47. Kaylee jots back to pass, throws it to the outside to Vince Williams, and the pass will lead him out of bounds for a 15-yard gain and another first down. Kaylee tries to run the RPO, but the Northwestern defense gets there to him as he gets dropped for a loss of 1. Hand the ball off to Rod, gets a gain of 5. Jackson gets the handoff, and he's met at the line of scrimmage for no gain, and it brings up a 4th and 6 at the 34-yard line. And the wind is blowing, so that's why Colorado will send out their punter. And they punt the ball away, and it'll be a touchback. Montpremier gets a handoff for a gain of 3. Handoff again, he gets a gain of 13 and a first down. Incomplete pass, false start, and a rush of 8. Couldn't do anything after the first down. Matt Roberts comes out for his first punt of the day, 46-yard punt. Hampton gets an 18-yard return. Colorado 1st and 10 in their own 33. Kately jots back to pass, looking, fires, finds Artie McCrary for the big 18-yard gain, but there is an offensive holding penalty. Makes it 1st and 20. Colorado takes the snap. Kately feels pressure, and he's going to be dropped for a sack. Marcus Terrell gets there. Loss of 6 on the play, making it 2nd and 26. Feels pressure again on the second down play. Steps into the pocket, throws, and it falls incomplete, but there is a penalty on the play. Pass interference on the defense. What would have been 3rd and 26 is now 1st and 10. And then Northwestern has yet another penalty. Illegal contact. Automatic first down. It's 1st and 10 at the 26 of Colorado. 2 big penalties against Northwestern. Kately jots back to pass. Lob play. Vince Williams jumps up and comes down with it. Big first down for 26 yards. Kately jots back to pass. Looking deep. Throws. Intercepted by Trailer Parker, who has a little bit of steam and brings it all the way to the Northwestern 39 before he's knocked off his feet. And it's a first down Northwestern and a big-time turnover. Northwestern 1st and 10. Incomplete pass, and they call timeout. Cox will be sacked by Daniel Rass for a loss of 9. Then another incomplete pass. They will go 3 and out. They punt the ball away. 38-yard punt, no return. Colorado 1st and 10 in their own 32. As we'll get one more play before the end of the quarter as handoff to Noah Jackson for a gain of 3. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 7. And at the end of 1, Northwestern leads at 7-3 in this barn burner. 2nd and 7, Kately keeps it for himself, rushes it for a gain of 6. Jackson handoff, a gain of 4. Kately rushes it again, another gain of 8, and it brings up a 2nd and 2 after, Noah Jackson gets a handoff for a gain of 9, 1st and 10 at the Northwestern 38. Handoff to Jackson again, he gets a gain of 5. Play action, defense bites, finds Ryan Jackson on the back end as it's a big gain of 19, 1st and 10 at the Northwestern 14. Incomplete pass. Hurrah gets it. Gain of 4 on the play. And then another incomplete pass that brings up a 4th and 6 from the 10. Mountain will line up for the 27-yard chip shot. And it is good as Colorado cuts into the lead 7-6. Kickoff. Taken from the 7-yard line. Mitchell gets a 21-yard return, and Northwestern takes over at the 28. Hibbert gets the handoff for gain of 3. Hibbert gets the catch for gain of 14. First down. Montpremier gets the handoff for a gain of 10. Another first down. Handoff to Hibbert gets a gain of 11. And that's where the drive stalls. 3 incomplete passes, but it brings up a 51-yard field goal try. Aaron Riddick. Kick is up. And it is good as Northwestern extends the lead 10-6. Sorry, I'm making some quick notes here. So Papa can keep up with the score and everything. And NZ TV. Okay. That was at the 7:30 mark. Northwestern kicks it off, and it'll be a touchback as Kately drops back to pass, and interception on the very first play. As Michael Moore gets it, and Northwestern gets the ball again in great field position at the Colorado 30. Cox drops back to pass, and it's a delayed handoff to Young for a gain of 7. Second down and 3. Cox drops back to pass, looking, throws it towards the end zone. Touchdown, Northwestern. Cox to Jesse Young in the end zone as the extra point is up and good. Northwestern extends their lead 17-6. Northwestern kickoff, taken from the 6-yard line. And it will be a 1st and 10 after the return. Colorado at their own 23-yard line. 1st and 10. Kately trying to get rid of the turnover bug. Incomplete pass. Incomplete pass. And then a handoff to Noah Jackson for a gain of 7. And they have to punt the ball away. Larry Dean punt gets a 51-yard punt. It's a 21-yard return by Danny Mitchell for a 21-yard gain. And Northwestern will take over deep at their own 40. Montpremier gets the handoff, and he surges ahead, gets past, breaks a tackle, and gets a 14-yard run to the Colorado 46. Incomplete pass, and a loss of 4 by Montpremier. Brings up a 4th and 14 at midfield. Northwestern punts. Roberts, 33-yard punt, 15-yard return as Colorado will take over 1st and 10, their own 32. Handoff to Hurrah for a gain of 6. Kately drops back to pass, finds Paris Connor for the big first down for a gain of 20 on the play. Handoff to Hurrah for a gain of 2. Handoff to Hurrah again for a gain of 4, and we hit the 2-minute timeout. 3rd down and 4th, Northwestern 36. As we have a false start. Makes it now 3rd down and 9. Incomplete pass by Kately to Jackson, and it will lead to a field goal try. This one 58 yards out. They elected to not kick a field goal when it would have been a 52 yarder, or sorry, 54 yarder. Mountain gets a good hold of this one, and it's up, and it's good as Colorado cuts into the lead 17-9 with a super deep kick. Under 2 minutes now. Northwestern kickoff will be a touchback as Northwestern will take over at the 25-yard line. Cox drops back to pass, doesn't see anything downfield, has a bunch of green in front of him, so he decides to scramble. Gets past the first down marker, breaks a tackle, keeps on running. They miss him again, and he's got some room to run up the field. It's in a foot race, and he's going to be finally chased down, but not after he gets a 50-yard rush on that play. Colorado calls timeout, and it will now be 1st and 10 at the Colorado 25. A big run by Cox as he read the defense great, but he didn't have enough steam or speed to rush it all the way in. 1st and 10 from the 25. Cox drops back to pass. Look, pump fakes deep. Looks short. Finds Hibbert. Hibbert, lone man, breaks a tackle. Runs up the field. Touchdown, Northwestern. Maurice Hibbert, after breaking the initial tackle, walked into the end zone. Extra point is up and good. Northwestern 24-9. With 1:39 left in the half. Kickoff be taken from the end zone, and it will be taken out. Hampton will get a 26-yard return on that and be 1st and 10 from the 26. Jackson rushes it for 2. Hurrah rushes it for 5. Timeout, Colorado. They have 1 remaining. 3rd down and 3, shotgun formation. Kately drops back to pass, looking, can't find anything, has to throw this ball away as it falls incomplete. 4th and 6, and it's a deep punt. 57-yard punt, but Mitchell gets a good 20-yard return, and Northwestern has all 3 timeouts with 26 seconds left. Let's see what they decide to do here. Cox drops back to pass, finds Hibbert, who couldn't get out of bounds, and Colorado calls timeout for them. 19 seconds remaining now at the Northwestern 44. Cox drops back to pass, finds Batiste, who catches it, and he will run out of bounds at the 40-yard line. And this will lead to they'll send out their kicking team. 3 seconds remaining, and Northwestern, Aaron Riddick will line up for the deep field goal try. Riddick's got to get all his leg behind this one as the kick is up. And it's good as we end it, the half. As Northwestern leads this one 27-9. And today's sponsor, I don't have a beer, so Dos Equis. Why not? That's my usual one. All right. So now it is the 3rd quarter. Colorado will get the ball to start off. And let's see what happens. First and 10, delay of game. First and 15, another delay of game. First and 20, false start on the offense. 3, senseless penalties in a row. And just like that, it is already starting off bad for Colorado. That's just for y'all to see. Um, just lack of discipline. It is now first and 25, and they will go 3 and out. I'm just not going to keep up with this thing anymore because this is about to be a very boring third quarter. Uh, so let's do this. Northwestern, after the 53-yard punt, 1 yard return, they have a injured player. Defensive lineman Adam Smith is injured. Cox finds Hibbert for a gain of 11 and first down. Incomplete pass, incomplete pass. Montpellier gets the handoff and he fumbles the ball, and it's going to be recovered by the defense. Daniel Rasp gets yet another turnover, as it will be Colorado's ball, first and 10 at the Northwestern 33. Kately completes a pass for no gain. Hurrah rushes it for a gain of 9. Kately drops back to pass, doesn't see anything, decides to run it. He gets up the field. He gets hit hard. The ball pops free, and it's going to be recovered by the offense. But we have flags on the play. Both on the offense. Holding is declined. Chop block. I don't think I've ever seen this many damn flags in a row. So Noah Jackson rushes it for 10 yards, fumbles the football. He recovers his own fumble. 2 penalties. The holding penalty is declined on the offense. Chop block is taken. It is now third down and 16. Northwestern has an encroachment, makes it third down and 11. Colorado has yet another delay of game, making it now third and 16 once again. Kately finally gets the playoff. It's an 8-yard rush, but there's a holding penalty on the defense. That is a free first down. After all of that, yeah, here you go. Y'all can have fun reading all that. After all that, it is now first and 10 Colorado at the Northwestern 34. Hand the ball off to Hurrah for a gain of 9. Hurrah rushes ahead. He gets a gain of 5. Incomplete pass. Jackson rushes ahead for a gain of 3. Third down and 7. Guess what? We have a offensive penalty. False start. Third down and 12. Incomplete pass. And Colorado will send out their kicker. Mountain nails the 39-yard field goal. It is now 27-12 with 8:32 left in the quarter. Yeah, after all that, that was just a field goal. Northwestern kickoff taken from the end zone, and it will be a 23-yard return, and it'll be first and 10 at the 22-yard line. Cox keeps it for himself, gets a gain of 7. Montpellier gets the handoff, he gets a gain of 9. First and 10. Cox drops back to pass, finds man for a gain of 4. And not to be outdone, Northwestern gets a delay of game. Second down and 11. Hand off to Hibbert. He gets a 6-yard gain. Third down and 5. Hand the ball off. Montpelier gets the handoff. No gain, as it will bring up a fourth down at their own 42. And Northwestern keeps their offense on the field. Cox drops back to pass, looking for his target. Hibbert was double covered, throws it to Jesse Young, incomplete pass, and it's a turnover on downs as Colorado will take over in Northwestern territory at the 42. First and 10. Kately drops back to pass, finds Paris Connor for a big first down, gain of 16 on the play. Hurrah gets the handoff, a gain of 4. Hurrah rushes again for a gain of 3. Third down and 3. Kately drops back to pass, finds Noah Jackson for a gain of 11, and it's going to be first and goal from the 8. Colorado has a chance to start making a comeback. Kately drops back to pass, fires over the middle, intercepted by Rick Applegate. The defense stands tall when it needed to, and it produces a turnover and saves this drive. Northwestern first and 10 at the 2-yard line. Hand the ball off to Montpelier for a gain of 1. Hand it off to Montpelier again for a gain of 9 and a first down. And we'll have one more play before the end of the quarter. Cox drops back to pass, looking, throws, intercepted by Gary Piquet. He gets up the field and he'll get a 7-yard return, and Colorado produces an interception themselves as we end the third quarter. And at the end of 3, Northwestern leads at 27-12, but Colorado is knocking on the door. First and 10 at the 14-yard line. Kately passes it to Hurrah for a gain of 4. Second down. Kately drops back to pass, looks towards the end zone. Touchdown, Colorado. Kately finds Paris Connor for the 10-yard gain, and it's a touchdown. Extra point is good as they cut into this lead 27-19. And they have some momentum. As we will have a kickoff that will be a touchback. Cox rushes it for a gain of 1. Incomplete pass. They go 3 and out. 54-yard punt, 18-yard return. Colorado has it on their own 38. Here's their chance. Hurrah gets it. Rush of 1. Jackson, rush of 5. And we have an injury timeout. Northwestern cornerback Brandon Miles goes down. He has a sprained ankle, out for 2 weeks. Incomplete pass on third down, and they will go 3 and out and punt the ball away. 44-yard punt, 14-yard return. Northwestern takes over on their own 26. Got to start using some clock. Hand the ball off to Montpelier for a gain of 3. Pass Cox to Young for a gain of 9 and a first down. Montpelier gets the handoff, gain of 9 on the play, 2nd and 1. False start makes it 2nd and 6. Incomplete pass. Handoff to Hibbert for a gain of 3, and it brings up a 4th and 3. And once again, Northwestern keeps their offense out on the field, going for it on 4th down in their own territory. They'll run the option play. Cox takes it to the outside, pitches it, finds Montpelier, who gets the first down. A gain of 3 on the play, and they continue the drive and still kills a bunch of time. Cox drops back to pass and finds Jeremy Guzman for a gain of 16 and another first down. Hand off to Montpelier for a gain of 3. Complete pass, Cox to man for a gain of 13, and they are moving this ball down the field effortlessly. Montpelier gets the handoff. He gets a gain of 7. Cox drops back to pass, and he's going to be sacked by DeMarcus Spieth for loss of 2, making it 3rd down and 5. Cox drops back to pass, looks towards the end zone. Touchdown, Jeremy Guzman. Northwestern killed a bunch of time on that drive, uh, almost 7 minutes. The extra point is up and good, and Northwestern takes a 34-19 lead with less than 4 minutes in the game. As we have a kickoff, they'll be taken from the 1-yard line. Hampton gets a 15-yard return, and Colorado will have it 1st and 10, their own 25. Own 16. Kately rushes it for a gain of 9 and gets it to the 25. So now it's 2nd and 1. Kately drops back to pass, finds Connor over the middle for a 9-yard gain and a 1st down as we hit the 2-minute timeout. They got a bunch of points to score in a little time. 1st and 10 from 34. Kately drops back to pass, looking, fires, incomplete, but there's a flag on the play. Pass interference on the offense. 10-yard penalty. It's now 1st and 20, and that probably killed the drive. Incomplete pass. Incomplete pass. Complete pass for nothing as it brings up a 4th down and 20 on their own 24. Kately drops back to pass, looking, finds Paris Connor, but it's only for a gain of 5, and it will be a turnover on downs. Northwestern will take over at the Colorado 29 with 1:28 left in the game. Northwestern just needs to run the clock out because they have all 3 timeouts. Cox drops back to pass, and he finds Jesse Young for a gain of 23, and it's now going to be 1st and goal from the 6 as Colorado uses a timeout. Pouring salt on the injury. Montpelier gets the handoff. It gets a gain of 4. Timeout, Colorado. Montpelier gets the handoff again. A gain of 1. It brings up a 3rd down and goal from the 1. Handoff to Montpelier, who dives for the end zone. Touchdown, Northwestern. And the extra point is up and good as they extend their lead 41-19 with a minute 18 left in the game. As this one's a done deal. Kickoff will be taken from the end zone. Hampton takes it out, and he only gets 9 yards. It brings up a 1st and 10 at the Colorado 7. Incomplete pass, incomplete pass. Complete pass for nothing, and then another incomplete pass makes it a turnover on downs. And that is it. Northwestern wins it. (41-19) in the Sugar Bowl, and Coach Circle will go back-to-back years to the national championship, his 4th now with Northwestern, and see if he can shake off the curse. And speaking of curses, the Big 12 will not make the national championship again. Um, I'm going to share my screen real quick so y'all can see it. Kind of the scoring drives and everything. Antonio Cox, 18 for 37, 248 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Kately, just not a good day. 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. It was all Northwestern. 248 passing yards, 200 rushing yards, 7 penalties for only 34 yards. They did have 3 turnovers, 1 interception and 2 fumbles. The backup running back had a decent day, even though he did lose a fumble and a late touchdown. Hibbert, yet again, being the stalwart for them, has 2 touchdowns on the day, 1 receiving, 1 rushing. 105 all-purpose yards for him. Colorado they just couldn't get into, score a touchdown. Had a good field position, but 4 for 4 on field goals. That big one for 58. Y'all had one for 57. 5 punts, 1 touchback, 4 punts, no touchbacks. Yeah, just a good day overall for y'all. So, so there's that. There's the Sugar Bowl for you. Coach Circle. Not Coach Circle. Yeah, Coach Circle. Congratulations. Good luck in the national championship, whoever may call it. And yeah, Polk will have the game for the Sugar Bowl. And I definitely put this as the Sugar Bowl, not the Rose Bowl, because I'm dumb.